Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
And Calvin.
Coach Calvinator.
He's back to Big Calvinator.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that now,
Coming
boys.
back off a big score.
We've made it. We've made it.
Yes.
All the way to the long buys.
Yes.
What have we got? 5 weeks of them?
Yes, 5 rounds of buys coming up.
3 trades a week?
Oh.
3 trades a week. We have our best
Best
18, which
Party
would have been
time.
It
nice
is.
for the last 11 weeks as well.
Yep. Party
But anyway,
time.
we're
Party
getting
in the
into it.
studio.
Let's
Party in
have
the
a quick
studio.
look at what happened in round 11 for us. Calvinator, once again, the most dominant of the three of us with a 24-15.
24-15 puts me up to 166.
Nice spot
Just
to
a
be.
little
Moving
jump
up.
by 55 spots for me this week.
Good job. I had 23.66. A bit of a slide for me. Down 45 spots. Very unlucky.
Unlucky.
There's a story.
Unlucky.
Come on.
I'll
come
give
on.
it 30 seconds.
Go.
All right. Tried to be cool and play the rolling lockout game to avoid trainer.
You
First
idiot.
mistake.
First mistake. Missed 2 lockouts.
Yeah.
Missed 2 trades. Cost me about 115 and cooked me team.
There we go.
Missed 2
Unbelievable.
lockouts. Missed 2 trades.
Unbelievable.
So as if I do that.
So you scored well.
I scored very well.
Very well,
considering I had
considering.
2 players combined for 21.
Unbelievable.
You did. That's a very short story of what we've had to go
Oh
through
my
But it's
over
a
this
long
weekend.
story.
Yes, it is.
There is a lot to it.
Cracker night.
Yeah, driving,
Putting
out
kids
of
to
range.
sleep. Yes.
Essentially, Google the stages of grief,
Yes.
and that's what we've gone through. And we have finally got to
What was it?
acceptance after denial.
Well, I
anger.
tell you what, I swear, it's a glitch. Yes, what
Anger
was the
was
next
big.
one?
Bargaining.
Yeah, I punched
hey, Warnie,
things.
what's the number for
Yeah,
juniors?
that's fair because they stuffed that up, not me. Right. What was denial?
Depression.
Yep.
Yes.
I wasn't happy.
And acceptance. We
Oh,
are there
right
now
3
because
trades.
we're into it this week. No one wants to know about the Warthogs, but they scored a 22.88.
Whoa.
Down 500 spots, so 2 weeks in a row of slid.
you're on the slide, though.
After such
You'll
great.
be right.
So,
Bounce back.
3,346 overall, which you go back to it and you go, Calvin, you would have been happy with that.
Oh, but I've been pumped
That
with
was
it.
you.
Yes.
Here it is! That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
Of all the bad stuff that happened,
Yep.
to still bloody score that,
Yep.
something went right. So Nic Martin, VC, absolutely huge. Now, special mention to Ned Long, who stepped up for me. He
Oh,
knew
yeah.
the Roy boys were in trouble there. So he was really good. But Martin, 166, 69 points when it matters.
That was a
Wow.
big
And that's
quarter
in the
pounder.
junk time.
That's elite.
Yeah, so it was awesome.
I had my VC on Zach Merrett. Now, that
Whoa.
was coming off an 80 and a 54, and he totally redeemed
did.
himself. 149, 58 points. Big little quarter pounder in the last quarter
Nice.
with nice 13-6 marks.
It's a long wait until Sunday when you don't have your captain until then because X failed Cal after telling me to do it.
Nearly got him.
Anyway, Jordan Dawson, 139, and all the things going through my head. What if he plays forward? What if he gets subbed out because they're flogging the Eagles? Nah. 27 disposals, 6 marks, 7 tackles, and 2 goals, 3.
Stat stuffer.
Pretty
Wasn't he ever?
epic performance.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
All right. Harry Sheasel is a bad pick. I got him a couple of weeks ago, and I've had nothing but pain. And it was, I'm going to blame Kane.
Okay.
So we thought that half-back role
Oh, juicy.
was juicy.
Yeah,
And he scored
juicy,
well.
juicy.
And are they going to be stubborn? Nah, they're folded.
Mm.
And he played forward. So Frico did say it was a season high 56.4% game time up forward for Sheasel. Only 2 CBAs as well, because that's the thing. If he's not playing halfback,
Yeah.
I'm okay because he'll probably
the
be in the
mid.
gut.
Yeah.
But he wasn't even doing that. So score of 81, he's a forward. It's just not good.
Right. You know who else is a forward? Lockie Whitfield. Look, we'll talk about it because
He saved himself.
11,
That score,
yeah,
just
11
quietly.
points in the first quarter. He scored 80. Comes off the half-forward flank,
Yeah.
right? Now, Freako tweeted, that's the first time since round 23, 2022 that he hasn't had a kick in.
Incredible.
Now, Freako also said second half he went back to his halfback role. Challenge. I don't think he did.
He was definitely chasing more pill
He was
back there.
chasing.
He was.
I think he was doing
he
more
looked at
Nic Martin.
Nic Martin.
So he starts half forward.
Yeah.
He runs and stands in the middle and pretends to be a midfielder where he just doesn't know what to do. And then he will float through the back and
He
get
has
a few.
to. Did you see his heat map?
Yes.
Have you ever seen someone start
Yep.
forward and not touch it in the forward half?
He did not touch it once in the forward half. So, yes, Freako, yeah, I get it. He probably did float back a bit. But coming off I reckon, Dog, when you announce these DPPs in a moment, we might have a little sneaky forward.
So the interesting thing, Sheasel cops wax about it.
Yes.
Whitfield never does.
No,
At least
never.
when Shees goes forward, he still gets
Yep.
a few touches. Unbelievable. So mine, I don't have the same passion that you two about those two, but Will Ashcroft, that's his second week in a row under triple figures, and he is someone I expect more from.
Yep.
He had 78 and didn't lay one tackle.
Oh.
He needs to be tackling. He needs his 4 tackles a week.
He's a rocket.
That's not good enough. There's his rocket.
There you go.
Thank you for editing that, Roy, because he did have Cooper Simpson 0 in there, and that's not fair.
Roy.
Or Trainer, another rookie, getting a 21. Although that's more on Uze.
That was on Uzo. That was ridiculous,
Yes.
especially
Playing
with the.
With Noah Bolton not there. Yes, he wasn't there.
Careful.
Yep.
Careful.
Yeah, but why? Chuck him forward.
Oh, just
Anyway.
ridiculous. They played him out of form, and now they've hurt him as well.
Yep.
Good coaching.
Now, you mentioned those quarter pounders there with Nic Martin having 69 in the last quarter.
Stop it.
Biggest one of the year now. Zach Merrett 58. So they just really feasted on those Tigers at the end of the game. But we have a very special thing out of our quarter pounders. We've got a double quarter pounder.
Double quarter pounder.
Toby Green, 52 in the first, 53 in the last.
Well done.
My goodness.
He had a double quarter pounder.
I can't wait for the next pounder.
Yeah.
We might have. Wow. Wouldn't
Yes.
that be amazing?
Captain.
Will that ever happen?
Yes.
Right, let's look at our votes for the cash cow of the year. 5 goes to Riley Hardiman. Nice pick.
He's been all right, hasn't
Drew
he?
Jones has him. 106.
Yeah, he was very good.
So 10 marks patrolling that backline there. Probably because Shees wasn't there.
Probably.
That's probably the reason for it. Angus Clarke, what about this for a debut? 3 goals in the first half. So he ended up with 98. And will be the most traded
He
player
will
this
be,
week,
I
I
reckon.
reckon. So, perfect play. And well done anyone that jumped on early. And welcome everyone who's jumping on this week. Kane McAuliffe, he gets the 3 votes. 94 he scored. So he got recalled to the side 3 weeks ago. He's taken advantage of that
He has.
opportunity now. So career high score, that 94. 21 disposals, 6 marks and 6 tackles. Sam Davidson.
the
Well
doctor.
done.
He's
If
back.
you've got the
Doctor's
doctor
back.
still, 2 votes for him after he scored 94. Plenty of soul, but there's still 24% of coaches that have him. So
Yeah, nice.
well done. 7 marks, 7 tackles, kick the goal.
That's what you want
Good
from the
player. And 1 vote, Cal, your man, Murphy Reid. He scored 94.
Murph.
So 1 vote for him. He's gone up more than 250k this year.
He's been very
a
good, Doc.
decent pick. He's played every game. Levi Ashcroft is still the leader with 21 votes, with Zach Reid 17. We won't see him for a few weeks, but we'll find out a little bit more about that right now.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy podcast.
Yes, Zach Reid. Very sad for him because he's had that many injuries throughout his career, and hammies have been a thing, but it's the other side this time. So pretty much won't be back until after the bye. So round 16, the Bombers have their bye. So he's out. Anyway, we just want to give him a big pat on the back for being such a good player.
It's been a jet.
He's been awesome.
Gone up a small fortune.
He has. Cole Langford, another Bomber, just to get injured there as well. Quad for him. He'll be missing for a bit. So that back line is going to be decimated because we've also heard that Ben Mackay's been ruled out this morning.
Oh, this is good for Sard. Sorry, bit of a sicko.
No, it's not, Roy, because
Why?
he hurt his hamstring in the VFL.
I knew
so,
that. God damn.
You are a sicko.
Well, we do have the mid-season draft coming up on Wednesday night.
That's another positive.
Yay.
Another reason to
Can
get
a
through
player
my
get
stages.
picked up on Wednesday night and then play on the Thursday night?
Yeah.
Isn't it ridiculous?
Especially for them.
Why is it on Wednesday night? It should just be tonight.
Why?
Or tomorrow night.
There's a game Thursday night.
Yeah.
What?
It's actually unfair to Essendon.
It is. You are spot on. And I'm very unsympathetic to the Bombers
yeah.
usually.
Me too.
Like, even these teams have got buys this week. So, they can have them there for a week before they can play a game if they need them.
You've got to think of the likes of Pryor. The poor guy's going to get leather poisoning back there.
You're going to be loving
He doesn't need that.
No, he doesn't. That's the last thing.
A couple of other injuries out of that game. Sam Lawler, he hurt his hammy. So, low score for him as well out of that. Thompson Dow was subbed out with a bit of a knee. Camden McIntosh, he had a bit of a foot issue, but he battled on. Floston, ankle later in the game. It was just, this is what we're seeing. So many injuries at the moment.
Yeah.
Even our mate Trainer, when he was up forward, he copped a head clash
Yeah, it's
there.
'cause he
So
was
he
so out
might
of
not
sorts.
play.
Yeah,
as well.
goodness.
Saturday, we saw Pendles a late out with illness, and Bobby Hill was out with personal reason. Then Oleg Markov, who wasn't even an emergency, got the special tick-off from the AFL
did, yes.
Collingwood to do that. He was at Bunnings when he found out. I love it.
Having a snack. Yep. Brilliant.
Pre-game
How
snag.
good's that?
That's awesome.
Love it. Brazzy Maynard, he had a foot issue and was subbed out. And that's something he's been battling this year as well.
Yeah,
So
okay.
he may have a stint on the sidelines from that. In that game as well, Roy, your man Cooper Simpson, shoulder.
Yeah, so that was my play. I was playing Cooper Simpson instead of taking
The
Trainer.
21, yeah.
and got the 0.
Not good.
So that'll be some time on the sidelines there as well. Dusty Byrne-Jones was concussed. Pearce copped 3 weeks for that. From
I
the
saw it. It was a
MRO.
bit unfortunate for both, that one.
Luke Ryan hurt his ribs, but he battled on. Big fella.
As
Good
he
on him.
does. As he does.
Shea Bolton could have looked like he was a popular trade-in target last week for coaches. Had that leg issue. He went back on and battled his way to a semi-respectable score.
Yeah, he
but
must
still
have
probably a
been
disappointing
quite busy
one.
in the junk, I think.
Sunday, Jake Waterman, our boy.
Yes, that looks
legend
sad.
that he is. That did look
He's a
very,
legend.
very sore. So there, shoulder dislocation. So that's a big watch there. Charlie Spargo was concussed because of Millsy. So Callum Mills in for his first game. I think he goes for that. We don't know that yet. That'll be come out this afternoon.
Millsy.
He was looking good too, Millsy.
He was
very
big
solid.
early.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he only played 64% game time.
Like he was
Millsy.
always going to be managed
Yep.
low tog, but he was looking all right.
He was.
He'll be in.
Wixie hammy in that game as well. Now, Mac Andrew hurt his ankle, and so did Max Hall. So we'll be watching on those ones there as well. Is Max Hall still in your teams?
No, dog.
No, gone. Gone.
A couple of Magoos news. Just quickly run through a couple here. Bustlinger, if you're hoping there. He had a 90, 6 marks.
Not hoping.
But anyway, he's not playing this week anyway because the Bulldogs have got the bye. Butler from the Hawks, 42 touches.
Nice.
2
Wow.
marks at 157. Seamus Mitchell as well had 34 disposal, 138. And old mate Huswaite, just because some people may have him, sorry. 34 disposals, 105.
Nice.
Jack Billings racked up 130. Van Rooyen kicked 2 goals and 13 marks for 114 if the D's want him back. But D's are flying.
They are.
Chin Cotter, Roy. What's been his story?
Not sure. Not sure
Anyway,
where he's been.
He's 19 disposals, 9 tackles and 88. And the Blues are ST Ruggling.
Mate, no good.
So, Sonzi, he had 142. Sardis in that game against them, sort of the VFL Dream Zone game, had 32 disposals and 102. But the players that we're probably looking at coming back through, Parrish was back in, 24 disposals. Kick to handball ratio, not good. 5 kicks, 9
Never is.
handballs.
No.
73. And Prestia as well, 20 disposals and 67. So a couple of names that will probably come back into their teams.
You would think so.
Soonish. Stone, just because we want to hold some hope there. He had
Good
20
match up
disposals,
too.
7 marks, 82. They might drop Whitfield for him.
No, that would be a forward replacement.
That's
Don.
exactly
Stoney's
right.
been
Yes.
playing down back.
That's it. Yeah.
Roasted, old Harry, was
Yes.
sub on Saturday. Then had to go up to Albury to go and play this game. 13 disposals, 6 tackles and 69. Hugo Garcia responded a bit from his dropping. 27 disposals, 10 tackles and 112. Max Heath, who was an emergency, so he came into that squad. A goal, 19 disposals, 101. And DiMattia, he was named in the squad initially for the Pies. I think he was anyway. Or he's close.
He's got to be close.
31 disposals, 8 tackles and 119. And just while I was going through that, shout out to our man Boyd Woodcock.
He had a day.
He had a
32
day.
disposals, 5
Look at that.
goals and 139.
He can do that.
He is an absolute machine with what he does. Yes. Anyway.
Whoa. All right.
What do you got, Cow?
Well,
Your boy.
James Jordan. He went next to my little red friend down back.
How rude.
How rude. Jake Bowie copped it. He didn't enjoy it. No one enjoys a tag from James. So this week...
One thing I did laugh about that, though, was he was stuck on the bench, and Bowie, I reckon he had about 5 touches while he was on there, and he was licking his lips.
He made the most of it while he could because it didn't last long. So, yeah, he was very disappointing. But who does he go to from Adelaide? Is it Rankin? He probably
Similar sort of matchup.
Try, you think?
You'd think so.
So that one could be our... Now, Bedford, Roy, from all reports, went to... Cripper.
Saw that.
Yep.
Yes, it was happening.
But
Bedford hurt himself a little bit, but he came back on.
They've only got Richmond this week, so maybe Bedford goes to a Taranto or something like that. Other than that, Dog,
could be a quiet week.
that's a very quiet week on the tag watch.
Let's look at the new DPPs that dropped overnight. Really quickly, the one main name is Connor Rozee. So his defensive work, 61%. It's a lot. So he got it easily.
Yeah,
in
easy,
the end.
right?
So, yeah, where does he go? What happens to the rolling 22 off the back of this? Because he was in the midfield, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
he was. There's a shuffle.
Oh,
Right.
here we go.
You're not going to like it.
Oh.
And you'll say, you idiot. Now, that would be fair after my weekend's efforts, but it's a fresh start. Guess who's out? I have to put him back there.
Who?
Guess who gets bummed?
Whitfield.
No,
Yes, do it.
the Shees is
Jeez.
out. He's out.
He's out of the
Why?
rolling.
It sounds ridiculous.
It does.
I know. But you think about the players in front of him. You think about this, right? So who's better, Whitfield or Sheasel?
Well,
Oh, well.
Whitfield. Let's go Whitfield.
You would think
yes.
so. Ash, this is a tough one.
I've got Ash ahead.
I've got Ash ahead.
Yeah.
Nasiah,
Easy.
Sinclair.
Just. Yeah.
I've got it easy.
Yeah.
Well, their roles are a bit more.
Well, that's it.
confirmed.
This is, well, I think
It's all
that's
about the
just-
role.
That's about it.
Yeah.
It's happened.
And you can't squeeze him into the midfield?
I can't unless you want to put him ahead of Jack Steele, for example.
Can't do that. Not the way he's going.
He's gone.
While he's playing this role, he should not be anywhere near the rolling 22, I don't
And
think.
I feel sick doing it,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yep.
But
Was
I've done
there a time where he was D1?
it.
Or at least...
He was 2.
Yep.
Well, he is 2 right now.
Yeah.
Before I actually make the change official.
Brutal!
Yeah, I know.
You're a hard man, Roy.
Very hard.
Not too much else to write home about in the DPPs, but for draft leagues, there might be a couple of players worth, having a consideration for. Sam Banks has been great. He had a big score on the
Banksy,
weekend,
yep.
110. So, will that change when Short is back? Maybe.
Possibly.
But he's got the defender status. Justin McInerney picking up forward status is a decent one there. He can score. He's out with suspension, but I think if he's available in your draft league, you need to try to grab him, as I tried to have a little bit of a go at that last night.
Did you just?
After.
Here we go.
This
Oh,
is what
an
RFA's on
inquiry.
for, mate. That's what RFA is on.
Inquiry, Roy.
I can't even look at my own team at the moment. So my draft team is
Yeah.
getting very neglected.
Yeah.
Jack Bowes, he picked up some defender status there as well. But Bailey Williams, he's another serviceable type dude that
The
could
thing
be
Not as
picked up.
exciting as the first bunch,
No,
is it?
You would say
And the
it's-
list is not as long.
No, so you'd say it's boring, but there are zero apologies that come with that.
No.
They're the players that deserve it based on what they've been doing, and it is what it is.
Yep.
Exactly. So the
Gone,
DPPs, as we know, they come through every 6 rounds. So the next one will be after round 17.
And I'm tipping that bunch is going to be even more boring than this bunch.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yep.
Round 17. Nearly be out of my pain by then.
It will be out.
Where will you be for the stages of grief
I'm
by
all
then?
right.
Back to the start.
All right, here is something that's exciting. All right, we do often use this one. Are there any other buy songs out there?
I could write one.
Actually, maybe that's your thing
Yeah.
for next week. You've been so good after debuting
Yeah.
the song the other night on
Yeah.
Thursday night's show.
Oh, another song for me? Another absolute meltdown.
No, look what happened with your,
But your trade targets
your
were
top
great.
trade targets.
Who was number one?
I always held
Nic
everyone
Martin.
else.
Yep. Number 2, Sinclair.
Yeah.
Number 3, Chad Warner.
Oh,
Number 4,
doesn't matter.
Zach Merrett.
Yeah, would have been like that.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, he was
Yeah.
too. So that's what I do. I help
Number
other
5,
people.
though.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good to know that no one has my back, ever. Thank you. The
Number
number
five,
five is
Cooper
Cooper
Simpson.
Simpson.
Can't help that.
0. Yeah,
That'll
anyway.
bring his average
All right, boys.
down. All right, boys, here we go. The first of them this week, we have Carlton, North Melbourne, Port Adelaide, and the Western Bulldogs are on a bye. That means they won't score for you, obviously. And in our draft game, hopefully leagues looked at having a bit of a play there. We brought down the number.
Yep.
We normally have in our Bacon Cup 11 on field each week. We brought that down to 8 for the bye rounds. And these buys are probably easier than what we've seen in the past. Like, one of the first iterations of the buys was basically 3 weeks with 6 teams on them. So it was pretty brutal. Now, in Classic, we get our best 18. So our normal on-field 22, and this is what we had in the early buys this year. So that means that your best 18 scorers from your on-field 22 will count towards your weekly score. But this time we get 3 trades. So that's the difference with these mid-season buys. Now, with where our teams are at and what our benches are looking like, we need this best 18 at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's brutal.
most popular players on the bye, Shees, Caleb Daniel, Erie, Rozee, Davidson, Finn O'Sullivan, Hornbag, Sandoz there, TDK, Chera, and Simpkin. They're all more than 10% ownership in Fantasy Classic. A couple of the other names there, Bont, Libba, Fraser, English, some Bulldogs there that have some ownership, but that's where we are. Now, how many players do we have after your trades this week playing for you?
All right. For me, it's 19.
Right.
Right, but we need to define.
And Roy's got 20.
Yeah.
I've got the bare 18.
Do you really?
Well, and I think where my hurt is compared to you guys is Shees.
Oh,
obviously,
yeah.
in my
Well, he's
team.
out of the rolling
So-
anyway, so it doesn't matter.
But we
That's
want to
awkward.
talk about how many good players you've got, though, or what we want to define as proper players.
Proper players,
A proper
we're calling it.
player, yes.
A proper player. I sort of had a look at this, and I thought a player that you probably expect a ton from.
Right?
You'd be giving that a tick, you've done well. Or
We rein it back.
We've
from that.
reined it back a bit.
some players that you go, if they get that 80 or 90, that's
That's
where
enough.
they should be
Yep.
doing.
And on their line, that could be deemed.
So the best way to do it, I think, is
Enough.
Levi Ashcroft, is he a proper player?
So this is where I thought another part of the definition would come from. Are you trading him out on his buy? Now, he's probably not the best one because they've got, don't they have the last buy?
Yeah.
So
The plan is he would go
he
on
probably
the last
goes.
buy for me.
But if he had a buy this week, would you trade him out? And I'd be saying no.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Maybe that's
Okay,
because
I
my team's
liken
no
him
good.
a lot to say someone on the buy at the moment is Caleb Daniel.
Okay.
So a lot of people, he's in the most traded out. So, but a lot of people are also holding. If you had those two and you were trading out one, which one would you go out?
Probably Daniel, I think.
That's an interesting one. He's right on the proper player.
Yes.
He's actually, we're calling it.
We're
He
ticking
is
it.
the definition. He's the last tick. No lower
Yeah.
than that is a proper player.
So a Riley Bice is not a proper player.
No, but he's someone that we're obviously hopeful
Hoping.
can
Okay.
hit a 70 or something.
Now,
So Levi's the line.
Levi's the line then.
Yeah.
so how many proper players do we have?
I've got 16.
That's
15.
good.
Yeah.
I got 15.
See, I'm 14 now. This was, why did I not write him down in the thing? Bailey Smith.
Oh, no.
Is an issue.
I've
Now,
got
he should have been
14.
in my news. Going back to the news.
Yes.
Bailey Smith.
Yes.
He's an issue
Big issue.
He
because
called it himself.
so in the post-match basically said that he got he was struggling to play. If it wasn't the Bulldogs, he wouldn't have played. Also said that he got a jab pre-game, 4 jabs at half-time for a shin.
See,
Has
see
he run
that's
into the
why
back
that's
of
why
a
I hold
bloody-
hope. Because no one gets a jab in their actual shin.
No.
You don't get a jab in your shin.
Now, did you see Chris Scott as well from that?
No.
Pretty much, he was surprised he didn't know all about it. Is that Chris Scott just foxing for that?
He's lying.
Or is it Chris Scott even just having a whack at him saying, we do not talk about injuries at the Cats because we do not let anyone know
Chris
anything?
Scott would have enjoyed that it keeps everyone guessing.
Oh, big
he
time.
wouldn't care. But yes, he would have known about it. Probably would prefer. he
So
didn't talk
they
about it.
play, they've got a longer break because it's Sunday night. They go over to Perth and play.
Look, unless
Is he playing?
Unless he's got serious. So this is the thing. It always interests me in footy. So wouldn't have played if it hadn't have been the Dogs.
I know.
But is that really worth the injury. Like,
No.
what did that bring
Yes.
for them as a club?
Yeah.
Nothing extra.
Yep.
So,
If you can
that's
push
just
through
bizarre
it,
to me.
if you can push through that,
How bad does he want a Brownlow then?
well, there you go.
Because this is 3 votes.
Yep.
You might as well write it up now. If he plays, he's 3.
He is.
In that, he'll absolutely dominate.
So there is a chance.
It's a long break.
There is still a chance he plays. I'm going to give you a percentage off for you guys in a sec of what the likelihood that he will play. Dog,
30.
30% plays.
Yeah.
Destroy?
35.
Yeah, I had it at 32.5. So
Unbelievable.
unbelievable.
So we're counting him at the moment, but realistically, it's 19 and 14 for me. Then.
Now, I learned a lesson that you don't trade him out.
Oh,
earlier in
no.
the year. So you're not trading him, though,
no.
if he misses.
No,
No,
I
you
keep-
don't.
It's just a long wait. Does he have cover then for you? So does your 19 players, your 20 players, does that become any more? Do you have someone extra on your bench?
like Cooper Simpson would have been mine.
Oh.
So no.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
So I'm stacked in the forward line. So I actually have someone coming off the bench, Cleary, but he doesn't count as a proper player. So that
No.
would get me down to 13 proper players for the week, which isn't good because those ones. So who are your non-proper players that you've got?
Okay, so for me, it's Bice, Langford, and my
New
new recruit, the hot Richmond rookie, Campbell Gray. I know.
Roy, you've got 4 that you're calling not proper players.
No, so Clarkey, we can get excited by that 98 until he gets 34
At the
against
Gabba.
the
Lions.
against the Lions. Pryor will get his opportunity to go again.
There you go.
Bicey and
Pryor will
Sheldrick
be a
as
proper
well.
player this week.
And the Rick.
And
And
Rick.
Sheldrick will be a proper player too.
He could be.
Who are they playing?
They got the Crows at home.
I've got 4. Bice, who probably is a proper player by definition for the Warn Dogs. Clarke, Berry, Philippou. I'm putting him there. It's almost a semi-rocket that I'm giving him.
Dog, you'll be fine. The poo's good.
Yeah,
Berry's
they're all
good.
right. You've got
Berry's
a few
coming off
there.
like 120.
And we have decided not to call Box
A person.
a person. He's not even counted
I
in our
have
list.
Box as well. I didn't write him anywhere.
Just a box.
All right, so this bye rounds, our strategy, what we're trying to do is I've traditionally cashed up and tried to do that. This year it's changed a little bit in the sense of we're probably trying to fix some issues. And that might be red dots. And we've all probably got an injury or two that we are needing to trade from.
Yeah.
So, like Zach Reid, if you've got him, he just goes. He just has to go.
Just
He's
has
got
to.
the cash on his head. He's mid 700s, so
Yeah.
he's done well, and he's achievable to hopefully get to a premium with whatever your other move is. The other part of it is that we've probably got a must-have there in Angus Clarke that comes in, and if you've got Trainer, then that's a bit of a no-brainer. Despite the fact that Trainer was to be playing this week, it may miss off the back of what we saw there, but him playing forward, dropping that 21, Cash is going to go backwards, yada, yada, yada. So, it's a bit of a no-brainer
I think
of
so.
what you're doing, and that allows you then, in a lot of positions, if you've got Reid and Trainer, one down, one up, whatever you're going to do. So that's probably a good position to be in for what moves you're making. But it doesn't help you because prior to the weekend, you probably thought that Reid and Trainer counted as part of your...
Yeah. So you can do all the buy planning you like.
Exactly.
When you lose people like Simpson, Trainer's going to do that and go, and then Reid.
Yep.
Like, what can you do?
So is that cashing up thing still sort of there, or what are you
It's
guys
there.
going in with it this week? What's your strategy as such?
I go in with a bit of a half-assed approach of a little bit of fix the bench, little bit of cash grabbing, try to improve at least 1 or 2 on-ground contributors.
Yep.
So, and also not try to undo the balance too much either, like looking forward a little.
I'm the same. If you can cash up at the same time as making some improvements, then that's just a bonus.
Yeah.
Like we've got 3 trades. One of the trades you're probably going to use will be just a straight rookie swap. But then you're probably trading in a rookie that is
Doesn't have the
probably
job
not
security.
going to be as good as the rookie you're getting rid of anyway.
Yeah.
But you've got to do something with that trade.
That's
So
why
it
there
should be
might
a
be-
red dot rookie that you're doing that.
Yes, agree.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to get rid of at least 1 red dot, I think, in your first 3 trades.
Yeah.
So Angus Clarke is the obvious one there. Will Hayes was the other debutant last week. Break even of 6 now. He's up to 253. He scored 52, but Collingwood,
I know.
job security,
None.
can't be great at all. So is it maybe these Tiger defenders.
Potentially.
Campbell Gray, you mentioned before, Cal, as someone that's in your not a proper player list that you're bringing in. So he's got defender forward stats. He's 264k. He scored 54, break even of 5.
I just think the Tigers need to keep playing these guys. Mm-hmm. So he's not going to be a massive scorer, but if he can slowly pump out a couple of 50s, then that'll make me a little bit of coin on the side.
What time do the Tigers play this week?
That's a great question, Dog. They play away, though. So it's up at NG Stadium.
You're not allowed to play
again,
that one.
4 o'clock game, 4:15.
Bolter can't play that game.
No.
So,
Just one thing. Don't ever ask me what time games are. No. Not a good person to ask.
The other one was Caleb Smith. So he's at 278k. He scored 69, so he scored better than Campbell Gray's 54.
Right.
He's had 3 vests in his games. He had another full game where he scored only 34, but that was against the Lions.
That's tough.
But Cal, you like his VFL numbers because you picked him last year, didn't you?
He was my boy. He was my boy who just sat in the back line and never did anything. Nice little brown dot he turned into. Yeah, 3 VFL games going at 103.
Okay.
Yeah. So he gets the job done at a
good.
lower level, Roy.
Yes, he does.
So maybe one of those guys or a couple of those guys
But
could
don't
be there.
hold your breath on it. Like, it's just that'll do for now.
Yeah.
And we do think about where these buys are of these players that we're bringing in because that's the thing about this week. It's the hard trading week because everyone's got a buy coming up.
Yep.
And anyone that you're trading out has a buy coming up.
Yes.
too.
So that
Or it
is
could
the
be
thing.
this week.
That's where I don't hate where you're at, Dog. So, yes, it sounds gross, scraping to the bare minimum this week. But then, like, you're picking off players from week 1 of buys for the next
And so
few
that's
weeks.
the strategy moving forward, and we'll talk a lot about that over these next 4 or 5 weeks as we look at these. But you are going to be looking at these targets from this week: Blues, Roos, Power, and Dogs.
Plenty of options too.
And there might be some nicely priced players in that as well.
All right, on the flip side of this then, how many guys are you actually keeping that are on the buy this week that we are considering proper players? Like, how many proper buy player?
So is this where we
players?
maybe have a little discussion about can you be trading out any of these guys? And Sheasel is the most owned.
Yeah.
Is there a world that you trade out Shees?
I couldn't.
No, because as you said, you're trading in someone that you're going to have to deal with their buy anyway.
So why would you be trading Shees out? Because you think that role is going to stick? He scored an 81.
And you're so decimated this week, you need to patch him.
So you can actually turn him into a premium that will score better.
Yeah. I've given him a little rocket with the roll on 22 for you.
Okay.
I still rate him that highly. It's not funny. He's an absolute jet. To answer your question, in what circumstances would you trade? Like you said, complete decimation where you just need to scrape points from somewhere. Decimation via injury and decimation via like too many players on the buy, are you saying? Because you couldn't trade him out before Caleb Daniel, could you, for example?
No, definitely not.
No, so Caleb Daniel was the second most owned player.
Yeah.
Now, could you trade him out? He's coming off the back of a good score, though.
He is. So he's one of the most traded out players. Long term, Dog, if Sheasel stays forward, which you never know week to week, was there a correlation between him being forward and Caleb getting 30 touches again? You would have to think so.
Yeah, surely.
So Caleb, all of a sudden, where we've talked about we'll flick him off at the bye, if we can get through this week with someone like him, he will be very handy little placeholder for the next few weeks.
Yep, definitely.
For the rest
you
of the
count
buys.
him as one of your proper players.
You
would
do.
count,
You
yep.
do. So I've got Rozee, Chera, X, and Daniel. So I always thought I'd flick one of them. But I've decided that if I can hold that 4, the value of them through the next few weeks would be huge.
See, Chera has saved himself in those last couple of weeks
He
as
did.
well. So he's coming off a couple of decent scores.
He's been awesome.
He probably went a month, no hundreds, I reckon, or at least 3 weeks, and then he's gone bang, bang.
Yeah, so this is by far the hardest buy to battle.
Because you're bringing in...
Yeah, and if you are scraping with bare minimum, that's probably not a bad thing.
The best way to sort of look at your team too is on the desktop site and hitting the buy detector because you get your nice pretty colours, which is good for people like Calvin and his
100%
attention
it is.
span.
Yeah.
But you can toggle on and off to see where they look. So I've got a fairly good spread. Do you guys feel okay with where you're at?
If I can get through this one, my next two should be okay.
Yeah, next week's probably the easiest of weeks.
Yeah.
Because there's only 2 teams on the bye.
It's like
That's
you want to
Freo
sneak a
and
couple
St
through that one,
Kilda.
don't
You
you?
do.
You
The
wanna have a
good
couple.
buy. The good
Yeah.
buy.
So
And then
I'm
what we've
heavy
probably
late.
looked at a little bit too, heavier late, and
Yeah.
that's been some strategy as such.
Yeah.
And that's where we did talk about a Levi Ashcroft. He's got that buy there in the round 16 by the last buy that he would go because hopefully at that point our teams are getting closer to being full premium, whatever that means. I know the Warn Dogs won't be, but
No, it won't.
that's where we're looking. And like the Bombers, you've got your Merretts and your Nic Martin type guys.
Yeah.
Giants sitting there with a couple of good players there, like in Whitfield, Gal,
Mm.
and
Boy.
Lockie Ash. Tom Green's obviously a target for people and has been in teams.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Cats. So maybe this is where we start talking some trade targets outside of those rookies.
Yeah.
Let's start in defence then, and Tom Stewart. 716k.
So cheap.
He was down 13k this week, which is 183 for the season. Scored 92. So his break-even's gone to 76. So he is officially bottomed out.
Yeah.
Do we call it bottomed out now?
Yeah, he's bottomed out.
Definitely.
How did he look?
Not
Not
quite
100%
moving
still.
at his very best.
No. Bit rusty. Bit stiff.
But still got it done.
He did.
Look, through the buys, I'd happily tick that off for
So
that
would I.
price.
So that price, and it is that, well, you actually make cash from a Zach Reid, for example,
there you
doing
go.
that. Is
That's
that
a-
a shuffle from
That's fine.
those sorts of guys?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's the time you can do that.
And that would get you through because they do have that last buy.
Yeah.
And then you can, well, hopefully get through it. Maybe he makes a couple of dollars
Yes.
and you could turn him into a premium.
Yeah.
Because then we start picking off these teams,
Yeah.
these players from these teams that have had their buy,
Yep,
as we talk
correct.
about that being the strategy. What about his mate Holmesy?
Look,
He scored
Holmesy,
117.
Holmesy's been a roller coaster, but he looked really good. So his break even now is 78. So Holmesy's officially a bargain,
Yep.
regardless of the fact he'll whack you with a 70 every now and then. He's got a lot of games at home and he kills it at home. So he's a good pick.
Yep. So Holmesy at 916.
Yeah.
That's worth just doing, isn't it?
Yep, it's a good buy.
Let's look in the midfield. Zach Merrett. So Cow, he had a massive break even. Nearly hit it.
He nearly got it.
Nearly
Yeah.
hit it. So I think he went down $1,000 this week. So he is bottomed out.
He
For
has.
someone basically at priced at 101.
Yeah.
Like he goes better than that.
Well,
So
he should push
therefore-
his 110 like he always does
He
for
does-
the rest
yeah.
of the
So
year.
it's a good time
That's
to
a
buy
good time
there.
to get in.
Midfield has a few bargains, and this might be these rookies or mid-price, even if you
Yeah.
wanted to call them, the shuffles. If you've got someone sitting on your pine
Yeah.
that you can slide across some names.
Not something we usually suggest, but through the buys, it's a
You can
it's
hide
a
'em.
chance to get rid of these
Yeah.
guys and maybe get a little hit in the
Yeah.
points department.
The highest scorer of them, and this was Sam Berry, had 123, 26 disposals, 9 tackles, 1 goal. Now, prior to that game, you were going, no way. You wouldn't
No
have
way.
even thought about
No.
this. Because 4
Four out of-
games prior
Yep.
were all vest
Yep.
games and not good scores there. So they had Tex out managed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Berry probably the sub?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the problem
Yeah, it
with
is.
this because he looks like a great pick, but look at the pattern.
Yeah.
They, for some reason, like
So
what he
they
brings on.
Brought
as a
Draper
vest, I
into
think.
the squad and was the sub.
Yes.
So,
It was going to be Barry again.
It would have been.
but at 464k,
Yeah.
super low break even now.
If he can lose the vest, he's a great pick.
He is.
If.
Yes.
It's a worry.
It is a big concern.
Maybe it's a bit safer for 34k more going Angus Sheldrick. So he's coming off an 83 and an 86. His break even's 11. Had 52% CBAs a week before, down to 37, but he's still getting some mid-clock there.
Yeah.
That's worth having a look at.
Yeah, another one that they don't mind in a vest, though.
Well, there you go.
But, yes, I prefer Sheldrick to Berry.
He could get you through a couple of weeks because they've got the round 14 bye.
Yeah, and I think it's Richmond in 13, which if he doesn't get the vest in that,
Could be
triple
a good
figures,
score.
my friends.
Yep.
Might sneak 100.
Well, speaking of Richmond, the other one there is Kane McAuliffe, who's come in and had 86 and 94. Obviously got some votes there in the Michael Barlow medal.
Very solid.
521k. Could you shop there if that was one of those little buy-round plays to shuffle across from a rookie if you're not proud of your cash generation and things like that.
Yeah, well, we're not getting inundated with rookies that we've got any faith in job security. And even when we do have a bit of faith, they're off the ground on zero. So, yes, we might have to pay up to generate some cash.
But we're going Sheldrick over McAuliffe.
I am.
Yeah, I would be too.
Now, Rucks, we're not really targeting there. Marshall didn't have his greatest of games, and neither did X, but you're not trading X who's on a buy, are you?
No, we're not trading that.
So that's where you'll be wearing one of your zeros, I guess.
Yep.
Unless Boydie comes in.
Well, funny things happen, dog.
Like forwards. So Nic Martin was the number one trade target last week. Is he still right up there as a trade target?
Absolute bargain, dog. So he's 166, gives him a break even of just 63.
Yep.
So he is a bargain. Walking into a far tougher matchup, playing against the Tigers compared to playing against the Lions at the Gabba.
Yep.
But you're better just to have him for what he can do, and that break even confirms bargain status.
Bargain of $1.067 million.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
So does he justify that tag though as a one?
Yeah.
He's priced at over 105.
$1 million isn't what it used to be.
No.
For what he can do.
Can't get anything for a mil these days.
If you've got a guy coming off 300s in a row, including 166 in his last, and it's only around the corner he plays Richmond again.
Yep.
I think you want him for that.
You do.
Will things be tougher against the Lions this week though?
Oh,
hell yeah.
A lot tougher.
Yeah.
A lot tougher.
Warner is, last week I had him as one of the
Trap D targets.
Yeah, get him yourself, you idiot. Yeah. So 112 he had, break even of 78. He's a genuine bargain, and he's also,
$150K cheaper.
Yeah, so you're going there now. He's number one target over Martin this week.
Okay.
Has to be.
Based on price, and in 2 weeks he plays Richmond. Field day.
Okay.
All right. Now, we talked about some of those cheaper midfielders. Xavier O'Halloran, the giant there, $481K. So he had 93 against the Blues. His numbers weren't anything to write home about, though, but he's got a couple of matchups coming. Tigers this week. Port, what is happening to their colour on the scale?
Yeah, it's changing, dog.
It has to be easier
it is.
than what they were.
It is
they
changing.
Were red. They were black a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You said they were that hard.
Yep, they are. Well, they were, but not anymore.
Lions and Suns. So, like, Tigers, Port and Suns out of those next four there should be all right, and obviously has that round 16 bye, the Giants, so that's got to help.
Someone I forgot to mention there was Myers. Never gets the respect he deserves on this.
You actually deliberately disrespect him, I think.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I don't. I quite like him. I like that little round-the-body side kick he does. It's lethal. Now, he has only basically had one bad game, and it was his injury. So he's super cheap. He's about $100K less than Warner.
Oh, wow.
So given that he plays West Coast this week, I think I might pop him in the top 5 trade target sneak preview.
There we go.
Wow.
I think I might. I just thought then, I'm going to do it.
You can tune in on Thursday night.
Yeah. See if
We
he
go
holds on.
live.
Haven't crunched many numbers yet, I must admit, but at the moment he's in it.
He's in.
Yep.
6:15 p.m. on Thursdays. Just another reason to tune in. You get Calvin's top 5 captains. However, thanks for your number one this week on
They're a bit shaky.
Airy.
I've started work this morning already.
Look,
You didn't deserve to get a 150 from your VC after giving me my VC.
I gave you Dawson afterwards, all right? You can't be picky, dog.
Look, I didn't get much right this week for myself, but I did say Martin was the number one player in the game this last week.
You did. I know. I'm going to listen to the
You're
segment
welcome.
at
You're welcome,
6:15,
everybody.
Thursday night.
The most traded in players this week. Number one on the list is Angus Clarke. Now, he's coming off that 98.
Yeah.
He goes 3 goals in the first half. Just an exciting player. I think that we
Do we have to do
all
it,
need
though?
to have it.
Do we have to?
You have to.
Okay.
Everyone
Must have.
is bringing him in break-even of -23.
All right.
And you'll be locking that in before Thursday night. There's your first trade, no matter what. The next on the list, Nic Martin's there, William Hayes, and Zach Merrett and Chad Warner. All players that were probably targets last week as well, and that are all definitely worth picking up there just to watch on Will Hayes, though, I guess, with the job security. Yes. Most traded out, Zach Reid after that hamstring there. Luke Traynor, who has moved forward and only scored 21. Caleb Daniel is in the list there as the only bye player in this group. Sam Lawler and Riley Bice. So
okay,
I think Riley Bice can stay.
Yeah,
at the moment.
He doesn't count as a player, but yes, he can stay.
No,
and
I still have a little bit of faith in him, though, I must admit.
Being bye rounds, we get 3 trades. So here are mine. I'm getting rid of Traynor to go to Clarke. Zach Reid via DPP. It goes to Zach Merrett.
Wow.
And I'm going to go the cornerstone to Sam Berry. Okay. I need some sauce on the Crows to see if he sits there and stays in the 22.
Roger that.
There's my trades. I'm going Traynor to Clarke, Simpson to Campbell Gray, which gets me Zach Reid up to your hard watchdog, Nasiah Wanganeen Miller.
Oh, so you're buying into the easy buy.
Yes, I am. Yes, good observation, Roy.
Yes, very smart. I am going Traynor to Clarke, El Hawley to Sheldrick, and Hornbag to Chad Warner.
There you go.
Chad Warner. Why didn't you get him last week?
Yeah, let's not go.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy Official.
We love a question, and people most definitely love asking them. As the rain dies down, geez, it was coming down
Buckets out there today.
We get all sorts in here, don't we?
We do.
Alarms,
Yes.
hail.
Hail the great man.
All right, hit me with some questions.
Let's hear 'em.
I'm feeling on fireball.
You are. Let's go.
Alrighty, let's hit up Yogi Bear. Do I trade out Traynor but have 17 on field, or do I trade out a premium buy player that I don't want and want to lose for a field 18? That's big. See, I think Traynor may not be playing after
there you
that
go.
head knock anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think Traynor plays.
And if he does,
oh God, who am I to be saying this? But I would be making sure I had 18, a full team.
Yep.
Of all people to say that.
So Traynor out and have 17, or a premium out?
Premium out, 18. It's not nice having donuts, trust me.
Ange is asking, do we hold Traynor? And this is the tricky thing. I think he might be out.
We don't hold him. No.
look,
I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind. Get him out. Look, 17. Get Traynor out.
You do, because he'll play forward against the Giants.
Get him out.
Yeah, he goes.
He's out of form now, regardless. They've wrecked him.
He's forgotten how to mark.
They've wrecked him.
Yep.
Forgotten how to football.
Yeah.
All right, Jack, Sheasel to Stewart for a cash grab. Could you tick that one off?
Yep.
If it gives you your 18, then yes.
Yeah.
Because desperate times.
It's the time we can do something like that.
Yep. I definitely tick that off.
Yeah.
Now, if that gives you 20.
Could I do it? Probably not.
But if that gives you 20, I'm saying you don't do it.
Yeah.
And you hold. But if that's your 18, then go for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Toby just writes Riley Hardiman. Maybe that's a little swaggy thing.
That's a flex. That's a flex.
Or you're not picking him because he's got to buy this week.
Yes.
If that's your thing. And I think he's probably gone up a little bit too much now to do that.
He went up 74K this week.
Very good.
Here's one we didn't mention, and I did actually look at this over the weekend, and I forgot to write him down. Kyle Lohman.
I talked about him a few weeks ago,
Yeah, he did. What, did he go all right?
Yeah, he did. What did he have? So he's at 351k now.
That's cheap.
351.
He scored 58.
Yeah, 1943.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are in basically full
But
games.
it's rookie price.
Oh,
at
it is.
351.
It is.
And his job security is obviously through the roof.
He's got the Bombers. Should be all right.
Yeah.
Crows, Giants, and Cats. So not the easiest, but he does have the round 16
I know,
bye,
it's an
which
eternity.
is the nice thing if you do need that. Like, you know, you're making a couple of dollars if you've got Connor Stoneroy sitting on your bench like we do.
There's merit to that.
Riley Bice, not Riley Bice, who am I thinking? Caden Cleary, sorry. He's over 500k.
Yeah.
You're making 150k. There's a way to grab some cash.
Cooper Simpson's going to be sitting there doing nothing.
Well,
You could
that's
just
it.
pop him up to
That'd be,
30k or something.
need a little bit to do that.
So
Yeah,
Lohman
it's
was
not much,
about
though.
he was about a 61 average last year.
He's down a lot for the season.
Because he's been injured, invested, and all of it.
What's he actually down? So he's down. Oh, how about you click that, Wandog? He's down 262k.
Yep.
After being
That's
one of the good
ridiculous.
cash cows
Like
last
that
year.
is legit rookie.
So he's
price
bottomed out because
areas
his
now.
break-even's now 29.
Yep.
Yep, I'm ticking it.
Yeah, you could definitely do it.
There you go. That's a interesting
He's just
one
much
there.
better than that. He's much better than a
He is.
$350,000 player.
Yep.
Right, a forward option, Chad or Cozzy. You just got to go Chad over Cozzy. Cozzy is so good to watch, though.
Yeah, he's awesome to watch, but yeah, I'm Chad.
I'm Chad all day long.
Steele is back.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
So could you pick him?
Yes, you could.
Is he on the list?
Yep. Only if that gives you a nice maybe 2 or 3 on next week's buy.
Yep.
Because you don't want to be too overloaded in it, but you need to have some investment in it.
Yeah, you do.
So, yes, he's a tick if it helps you with all that stuff.
Johnny T, interesting here. High Legends with Angus Clarke playing Geordie forward in his debut game. Will this be his main role moving forward, or will he be playing down back more? Well, is he more of a winger?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But
He
I
was
share
up the ground
concern.
a fair bit.
Like, I share this concern. I see him scoring 30 this week.
oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost regardless of role, because they are playing against
Yeah.
the
At
line.
the Gabba.
But he's a must-have because his price is going in the right direction. He's a heartbeat and he's under 300k.
There you go.
And we don't have any other options.
Job security.
All
seems
of the
there, isn't
above.
Yep. And the thing is, like, because we've got best 18s, you can be shifting a little bit more towards that guns and rookies. Like, your aim after them is hopefully having 22 that you're pretty happy with on field. All right. A lot of similar ones, like Johnny here saying, do we move off someone like Trainer who will bleed cash, or is it more important to hold green dots during the buys and trade out red dots?
God,
It's
even if
more
he's a
important to
green
trade
dot.
red dots. However, I think he could be a red dot, and he's got cash on his head that allows you to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like him to Clarke, even if Clarke does score 30s,
Yeah.
is okay because of the cash that you make and what you're able to turn someone else into. And
Yeah.
if you've, like we said, and that's where my trades were, Trainer and Reid out, those guys there are gun and rook from what they've done. They've done their jobs as rookies.
Oh, big
That's
time.
essentially what it is. Aiden, who goes first? Injured blokes like Reid, Lawler, Simpson, or permanent red dot rookies like Campo, Hasty, Stone, Buslinger? So Campo, Hasty, and Buslinger, I think they just stay because there's no cash on their
I know.
hand
That's
either.
the problem.
That is.
They can
isn't
go at another week
They're a brown dot.
it?
when
Yeah.
you've got a chance.
Yeah. Leave those ones till last, I think.
Yeah.
Reid, Lawler, Simpson,
They've got money on it. You've got to move them.
and
Yeah.
they're all out anyway. They're
They
a
are.
red dot
There you
anyway
go.
with cash.
Yeah.
That's the way that you look
Easy
at it.
decision.
Yeah.
All right. Right. Oh, Bob Gaming. Here he is. Wants to know, Merrett or Ash? Who would you be picking out of those two?
Merrett.
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
You have to go Merrett.
Would you go Green for Matt Allen over Merrett just because of the Tigers match up straight up?
No. No.
How did Zach went well against Brisbane last year, didn't he?
Got it here, dog.
Oh, I know because I remember this very
Oh,
fondly.
yeah. So he played him at the Gabba last year, round 24,
Yes.
and had a 149.
Did he?
Yeah.
Not a great week to trade him out.
No.
Oh, that.
Well done, dog. So
Trying to
Merrett should be
smarter
fine
than
again,
you.
providing he's switched on like he was last week.
Riley, Brian Myers, could he be a play?
Yep. Certainly is a play.
There you go.
Maybe in the top 5. Stay
Top 5
tuned.
trade targets. There you go.
Right. Jack says Nic Martin in and a double downgrade, or do you grab Stewart and another mid-pricer?
These mid prices,
If one of the double downgrades is Clarke and
Yeah.
Nic Martin,
Yeah.
it's the other downgrade as part of that. Not great.
you can be silly with these things during the buy rounds, right?
You can.
So yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can experiment a bit. You can go your Stewarts. You can go your Sheldricks. You can go those guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so.
Could you bring in Philippou or Sam Berry? Oh, jeez. I don't have... No.
How was the poo, dog?
No.
He had a 70. It's Berry over the Poo at the moment.
I think so.
Unless you need a
There's
player
a
on
fair
that
cash difference,
on
but
the easy buy.
geez, we need some sauce on Berry.
I can't help but think Berry is their perfect sub guy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And it was just the late change, unexpected, that shuffled that.
But if he stays in there until their bye,
Yeah.
which is only, 3 weeks away, 3 games I want out of him.
What's he done in the past in his full game?
3 games.
Oh, he's usually good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he was a gun a couple of years
He
ago.
was.
Remember the tackle
Did some
machine that he was?
yeah.
Find that stat.
He did some
Come on,
tagging
Cow.
roles.
I'm going to say he averaged 90.
Oh, okay. Let's have a quick look.
Really? Well, I'm changing my
Yeah,
trades.
84. But you're talking back in 2022.
That's not that long ago.
That's a good 3 seasons. So he's gone 49 one year, 59, and this year he's obviously going at a lot lower.
So what did he average tackle-wise that year with the 84? Jeez, I'm
Ooh.
putting you under the pump here, Cow.
You are testing me, dog. Yeah, 9.5 a game.
Yeah, like ridiculous.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
but,
huge.
but he would have had, what, do you have 8 or something on the weekend?
Yep. And that is basically him playing as a midfielder.
Matt Crouch is still named as 4 to 6.
9 tackles on the weekend.
Why haven't they wanted him in the team the other weeks?
Don't
that
know.
Crouch
Yeah, I know.
hasn't been in
That's the concern. It's a huge concern.
So what do you have? Sandberry had 43% of CBA. So Dawson 73. Then Saligo dropped a bit to 50. Peatling had 50%. Rankin dropped a bit. So Rankin took the hit.
Look, if Berry plays, he gets mid-clock. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's what he has to do.
Yeah, that's what he does. And he also go forward. Like, he kicked a snag on the weekend as well.
Mm.
So if he plays, and I mean plays a full game, then there's an 80,
Yeah,
right? But the risk obviously comes with it.
it does.
And that's spoken from a passionate Crow supporter
yeah,
who knows their players inside and out.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, a couple of questions there on Berry or McAuliffe. Who would you be picking? McAuliffe's safer, obviously.
Yes,
Costs
safer.
you more money.
Won't hit you the scores that Berry can hit.
No, he won't really.
Who, and this question here, targeting Holmes, Merrett or Chad Warner?
Holmes, Merrett, or Chad Warner? It is Chad.
So Chad over Merrett.
Yeah,
Yep. They're both value.
they're both great picks. Don't get me wrong.
Mm.
And Holmes is good value too. He's recognised 3 great targets that all are in the mix for the top 5.
Yes. I need to hear that before we leave today, dog, as well.
Oh, let's see if I can pull it out for
Yeah, so you can find.
Calvin
Just
Ada.
another one of my bangers.
you. Samuel, I can't wait for this episode to drop. Trade Insights always bring new perspectives. Keep up the great work.
Well,
Sounds like,
we've let you
sounds
down.
like
I reckon.
AI.
Yes.
Almost the way that's written. Oh, from Calvin's burner account.
Oh, well, I do have several.
You would do.
You're a busy man.
I need them.
You're a busy man.
Cow, you're doing really well, mate. Keep it up. Thanks, mate.
If you were trading for Batchy here, one of Sheasel and Daniel, who would it be?
Oh, Daniel goes first.
Has to.
Yeah, we're not that.
Did you
Ruthless.
watch the role?
Yeah, but
Did you hear?
I know.
Do you
but
know who it is? It's Harry.
It's Harry,
It's
exactly.
Harry
Yeah.
Sheasel.
Yes,
Gun.
yes.
Superstar.
Compared to small potato, growing. Right.
Cute.
Geordie wants to know, got Stewart last week, is he a keeper? Are we allowed to use that term yet?
Oh, well, he's...
Well, no, he's not.
I'll tell you what.
'cause He's not
He's
the
a
rolling.
keeper until the bye.
There you go.
I'll tell you what he would be. A nice D7, given we've got so many trades.
Yep.
And some teams are in very fortunate positions.
They are.
If you can get to the point where he's your backup,
Oh, elite.
you'd be laughing. So he is a keeper,
Yep.
but he won't be in the role on 22 ever.
No.
So there will always be 6 you would prefer than him
Yep.
in an ideal team.
There's some good players back there, Destroy.
Yes, there is. But you can keep him for a long time, for sure.
All right. We've mentioned a lot of these players, so hopefully we've given you a lot of help for this week. It is the first of our mid-season bye rounds. Just a reminder, we've got those teams on the bye, the Blues, the Roos, the Power, and the Dogs. They won't be scoring for you. They've got the little blue dot with
Now,
them.
you can use them for captain loopholes too,
You
Dom.
can,
Yes.
and they won't lock until the last game. So if you were trading them out, you can trade them across the whole weekend. That's important to know in your
Gotta love the rolling.
classic.
Don't you, Roy?
How are you
just
going to manage with that
keep
this
across
weekend,
it.
Roy?
Yes.
I'm not. I am actually sticking to my guns now. Do my trades.
Oh.
on
Lock 'em in.
and just
Calvin's
leave it.
world.
Do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Much better.
The other things to know that we do have a bit going on this week. Obviously, the DPPs dropped, so you can check out that article at afl.com.au/fantasy to see all the names there. Do all your little work for your draft league to see who you can find. But the other ones are Wednesday night. We'll have the mid-season draft. Those players, I assume they'll get sort of added on Thursday. Once that always takes a bit of time because Champion Data have to supply just to go behind it, the player ID, their position.
be pretty complex.
And then if there's any players that have played in the AFL before, their prices will be reflective of discounted based on what they've done in the past. But if they're brand spankers, basement price players.
Here we go.
And just the hot tip, if there's some basement price bombers
Get on.
that have a heartbeat
Get
and
on.
might be able to play in defence, well, then they will
We're
be
going to get one.
There's no rookie crisis here, fellas.
We're going to get one.
They're coming.
Straight in.
going to be some stuff that even a ruck.
Yep.
Although Big Crosley, he might be back with his big handlebar mo.
I love it.
He's always in the mix, isn't he?
Anyway, there it is. Check out all the articles during the week, such as the stock take, such as Fantasy Ready, and Thursday Night Live. We'll see you there, 6:15, afl.com.au and the AFL Live app. 3 trades in Classic. Good luck and happy.
I say happy trading and I forget to damn trade. Happy trading. Don't you forget.